Hello, lovies. Today we're doing one of my favorite things, saving money by using every last drop. That's right, your girl's cheap. And you know what isn't cheap? Bath & Body Works candles. Why are they so expensive? $25.50. Are you kidding me? Don't you worry, I only buy these when there's a really good sale. But I have gotten rather obsessed with these in the last year or so. They do have one big downfall though. They end up with all of this leftover wax on the bottom of the candle, and you can't burn it because the flames keep going out. And you just sit there thinking, didn't I pay $25.50 for this candle? That's gotta be like $4 worth of wax on the bottom. So like any good thrifter or saver, I have held on to all of my Bath & Body Works candles that only have a tiny bit of wax in them. And in today's episode of Adara Unboxed, we're gonna melt them all down into one candle and save ourselves $25.50. Okay, so I know I'm not really saving myself $25.50 because I did pay for what little wax is left in all of these candles, but I'm not just gonna throw it away. But I did notice that when they burn down to the level that they're at right now, which is very small, like 1/4 of an inch of wax, it is all liquefied. And when I was looking at that, I just thought I could easily pour that into a glass container and make another candle. So I've grabbed a few things in order to do that, and that's what we'll do today. First things first, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm Adara. I unbox things, although I guess this isn't really an unboxing. Can we just pretend that I unboxed a bunch of very expensive Bath & Body Works candles and I just like showed them to you and then used them over the last 6 months and like now I'm, making a new candle? Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, all the good things, and hi. This is my first time making my own candle. And by making my own candle, I just mean taking candles that were made by professionals and pouring them into a glass. Disclaimer, do not burn yourself. Okay, this stuff's gonna be really hot. Hot glass, hot wax, hot stove. I am not responsible for your irresponsibility. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is kind of sort out your candles if you happen to have a lot of candles like I do. I have like 2 kinds of scents that I generally have going in my home. In the kitchen, I will have kind of the bakery scented candles. And in my bathroom or bedroom, I'll generally have the more bright, fragranced candles. You're probably not gonna wanna mix and match those, so try to put them in categories that seem like they'll, kind of work if the 2 types of wax kind of accidentally blend together. Does that make sense? I go through my sweet desserty scented candles a lot faster, so those are the ones that I'm gonna use today to make one new candle. You got your candles sorted, congratulations, next step. You're going to need a glass container that you can pour your candle wax into. So you could save a little bit of money by reusing one of these guys, but I'm too lazy to do that, so I went to the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree is a great place to go to find containers for candles. Basically, any size you want, they're probably gonna have something there. I found this one in the kitchen area. It's probably made for storing, like nuts or cat treats or whatever. I'm gonna use it to make a candle. Make 100% sure that your container is glass, not plastic, okay? The plastic's probably just gonna melt through this process. No plastic. What's that? You don't have a Dollar Tree within vicinity, or you just don't want to go to one because you're lazy? Well, you're maybe in luck because you could just use a jar that you have at home in your fridge. This is probably from pickles, kimchi, something like that. Oh, I don't know. It smells really good though. Again, make sure it's glass. I did wash this in the washing machine. It still smells a little savory, but whatever, just add to the candle scent. Or if you just want a little teeny tiny candle, these are like the little glass containers that sometimes desserts come in at Costco. So if you have one of these and you've eaten, whatever came in this out of it, don't throw it away. Why don't you save that? You could pour some candle wax in there. This has a little tiny plastic lid. And what are we gonna do with plastic lids? Not use them. There is one more step to this process before we get started. You need to make sure you have some wicks. I was able to buy this Mondo pack of wicks on Amazon for a very, very low price. I will leave the link down below in the description to make it easy for you. This comes with a couple different things. First off is your wick. This is what we will put into our candle holders and burn our candles later. That's how candles work, right? This set comes with the wick already attached to the base, which is nice. It also comes with these little sticker pads that you can put on here and stick to the bottom of your glass so that these wicks won't move around as you're pouring your wax in. And lastly are these little guides. So they're basically just popsicle sticks, but you know, they have holes cut out of them, so they're worth so much more than popsicle sticks are. We can put our wicks up through these little holes centered over the glass and use that to keep everything in place as we pour. I think that's it. I think we're ready. Let's go to the kitchen and get this baby started. Welcome to the kitchen. First things first, you're going to want to get some kind of like saucepan, and you're going to want to make sure that it is a big enough saucepan to put your whole candle in, okay? Next step, put, I don't know, maybe like this much water. I really don't know what I'm doing, so it sounds right to me. Put it on the stove top, and you're going to want to turn that on high. What you need it to be boiling a little bit. Or simmering. You're also going to want to make sure you have some tongs. If you have a pair of long tweezers, that would be very beneficial in this moment to be able to get the wicks that are remaining in the old Bath & Body Works candles out. I don't have any, so I'm just going to use 2 spoons and hope I can pull them right out of there. And while you're in the kitchen, make sure you grab yourself a snack. It's going to be a long process, folks. Let's pull out those taquitos. While we're waiting for our water to boil, let's go ahead and set up our wicks in our glass container so that everything is ready to go once we start melting these waxes. Depending on the size of your glass, you're going to use a different amount of wicks. So for this big glass, I'm going to end up using 3 wicks. I'm going to place them in here similarly to what the Bath & Body Works candles look like. But say you were using like a small pickle jar, you may really only need 1 wick in there to get the job done. I'm assuming these are double-sided stickers, so let's peel off one side. And we're gonna stick that where we want it, spacing them out as equally as we can. Now we're gonna use our popsicle sticks. You're just going to take the top of the wick and put it through this fancy hole, and then position it on the top of the glass or jar where you want it to be while pouring. That should work. All right, here we go. First up, marshmallow fireside. You're going to want to stick this in here, but you might as well use your tongs because I talked about safety, so be safe. The only thing is, I heard that it was good if your glass floats, because probably it could explode or something if it's touching the bottom where it's really, really hot. And then, of course, this candle is not floating. This is a potato masher, and at least it will help me to get this glass to not hit the bottom. Kitchen gadgets for the win. You know how sometimes you make YouTube videos and you are making a video and you forget to press record? So this is what happens when you think that you hit record but you didn't. I definitely melted down my candle. I removed the wicks that were inside using my spoons, though this is what you would use the tweezers for if you have tweezers. And I slowly poured my wax into the center. The glass is very hot, so you need to make sure you use the tongs or some oven mitts like I used, and you just pour it directly down into the center. Don't worry, I will try to remember to be recording for the next candle so you can see how it's done. Next up is fireside. All right, fireside is done. I'm gonna go ahead and get the wicks out. This one was a little bit of a naughty baby and all the wicks disintegrated in there, so there's a bunch of black bits that I'm gonna try to spoon out as well. But that is how easy the little wick metal pieces come out. They just, not even stuck on the bottom, they just slide right out once it's melted. Make sure you get every last drop, because otherwise, what are we doing this for? Voila! A note here, you're not gonna wanna be putting this jar into the fridge as you go, or freezer, or even right at the end. You're just gonna wanna let it all cool back to a congealed state at room temperature. Sometimes when you put glass into extreme different temperatures, it will crack or break, and you don't want that. Next on the docket, toasted hazelnut praline. Next in the lineup is sweet rosemary vanilla. Next up is French baguette number 1. I'm just gonna throw this right in here. This is my absolute favorite scent of candle from Bath & Body Works. I hope that they never discontinue it. It legit makes your house smell like there is fresh bread baking. Next up, I have a second French baguette. This is one of the ones I was able to light, and it melted everything, so I don't even have to put it into the pot. I can just get my little wicks out and pour it right in. We've made it down to the last candle, folks. This is pumpkin pecan waffles. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit and fully cool before I trim the wicks. So I'll see you in just a second. What is it? Smell good? What would be your ideal scented candle? Mommy's breath flavor? Not bad, right? Smells like taquitos. Our candle is done and our light is weird because the sun is now setting. That probably took 2.5 hours. Now there's only one thing left to do. We're gonna cut these wicks and set it on fire. Oh, one down. And now, as the sun sets, let us light our Frankenstein Bath & Body Works candle. She's burning nicely and she smells great. I think we did it right. And I'm actually really pleased with how this turned out. It was not that hard. It's just a little bit time consuming, but totally worth doing again in the future. I am going to keep doing this with all of my expensive candles because you definitely end up wasting a lot of the product if you just let it burn out and then throw away what's left. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate this time that I get to hang out with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer that for you. Before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you very soon for another Adara Unboxed adventure. Bye, my loves!